Hey, good morning. It's morning here in Norrbotten. Uh, Out on a Saturday walk. It's not terribly early, but it is. It's like 9:15 ish on the first Saturday in October. Um, Absolutely beautiful. Gonna start doing this more. Gonna start doing more walk in the nature and talk with the people. But first, let me just give a quick view of the world that I'm walking in right now. So it is a crisp -3 this morning, Celsius. Um, can't remember what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's it's the 29 maybe. I can't remember, but quite beautiful here. Of course, the leaves are changing. You can see the leaves in the birch trees are an absolutely gorgeous yellow, and some trees are still yellow and green. Um, it's just glorious here. Lots going on. Lots of stuff happening at work. Um, Lots of stuff happening in personal life. Uh, but yeah, it's I'm thriving now. I'm thriving. Those that know me know that those that know me best know that I struggle, that I have struggled, and that I've struggled over the past really 2 years. But I've healed. I've healed with the help of a great support structure, a wonderful family, and my sister and my kids, a wonderful, and of course, my brother from another mother, Sky. Uh, yeah, life is just, and of course Anna and Pella and her and her family, Ilva and John and Mai, and I'm just very, very lucky to have come to where I am. Uh, yeah, nothing more on that. Nothing more on that. I feel so good. I can't even describe how excited I am for the future. Um, so, but what I want to talk about is this this world that we live in. Um, when I was in the States, I used to be pretty uh, political in my way. I mean, I always tried to talk a lot about things that didn't make sense. When I got here to Sweden, I kind of stopped, but I need to talk now. I I know that these are divisive times, that the people who on both sides of the world and both sides of the political spectrum tend to not think much of each other, and tend to not think much of the world the other wants to create. I'm not a big fan rhetorically of Donald Trump. I'm not a big fan of the language that he uses in some cases, in most cases. I think he's funny, but do I think it's helpful? No. I think that he's he's not the destroyer of the American political discourse, as I've heard others say. He's just a continuation of that destruction of American political discourse, as evidenced by the other side, which continuously says that has no redeeming qualities and is a threat to democracy, and he's a ba 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 ba. I also think that Kamala Harris is empty. She's got nothing. She was repudiated by voters in the last primaries, and she was installed as the vice president, which is the way the political process works. But then she was installed as the nominee, and as the Democrat nominee, and without a single vote being cast by a voter, without winning one primary. I believe that, and the only reason they did it was because Joe Biden couldn't beat Donald Trump, and they knew it. But you know what? You picked the mother. You picked the dude. You picked the dude, right? So I think that if you pick the dude, that's the dude you got to ride with. If you wanted somebody else, you should have voted for somebody else. If you wanted somebody else, you should have allowed somebody else to run. You should have given RFK, Bobby Kennedy Jr. a fair shake. If you would have given Bobby Kennedy Jr. a fair shake, he is popular enough that he might have beaten Joe Biden. And then you would have had a shot. You would have had a shot. But as it stood, you pushed the one person who has an ideology that is very populist and very popular, and then turned around and rebuked him. But anyway, I don't like either of these knuckleheads. I don't like Kamala Harris's positions on policy. I don't like Donald Trump's position, his rhetoric. Outwardly, I will tell you that his policies in the first election, in the first administration, were real good. He made our family better. He improved a lot of my family. And so, peace through strength, peace through tough talk, being honest and being clear with words and what you expect out of your allies is never a bad thing. So anyway, I think that this political campaign and these political times call for people, and I hope we can move past this point. I hope that the next, because this is it for this is it for Donald Trump. So I hope that the next set of political candidates, the next wave of political leaders, are able to speak with eloquence and speak with firmness, but also realize that they need to come together. All of them need to come together to improve the lives of the people who employ them. But they won't. I hope that, but I don't believe that. I don't believe it will happen. Why do I not believe it will happen? Money in politics. I was listening to a podcast a couple of days ago with Russell Brand and who was interviewing Jimmy Dore. I'm sorry. And I quite like both of those cats, right? They're both a little more left than I am. They're more, Russell Brand is a little more hippy dippy, I guess. But Jimmy Dore is, I respect his braggadocious, his very outward words, his very straight words. But he was right. He's right. We are ruled by oligarchs. We've given up our democracy. We've given up our representative our our republic leadership, and we are ruled by oligarchs, by the military industrial complex, by banking interests, by big pharma and big agro. And a lot of these people, those lines, they cross, and you don't know who's in big agro and who's in the military industrial complex. And in many cases, they're in both. They're in all. They have their one big mega corporations that are in all of it. So we need to get back to small government. We need to get back to government for the people, by the people. It's time, and I don't know that that can happen in this political environment. Publicly funded campaigns. Hell yeah. The elimination, either the elimination of parties or lowering the bar so that there are more than two political voices in this thing. There's a spectrum. I've been 2 years in Sweden, and I love it. They got I don't know, 6 parties, and these 6 parties, they are set up. It's set up so that no one party can rule with an iron fist. I mean, or it takes a huge effort to rule all. Right? Even at the federal level, even at the governmental level, right? The federal, the country level. So that forces politicians to have to work together. And people don't like the choices that they have. They're forced into picking an issue or a couple of issues and holding their nose because they don't agree with a political party they're about to vote for on the other issues. It forces people to have to make choices, and it forces political parties to have to compromise. I quite like it. I think it's good. We'll never go to a parliamentary system in the United States, but food for thought. All right, friends. I love you, family. Please be kind to each other and be kind to yourselves. All right. Till next time. Peace.